No one is your friend. At first, that sentence stings. It feels harsh, even cruel, but it holds a truth so powerful it can reshape the way you live your life. In a world full of smiles, promises, and companionship, there lies an undeniable reality. When the storm hits, when your back is against the wall, and when everything you counted on begins to crumble, you will find yourself staring into the mirror with no one beside you. And in that silence, you will discover something incredible: yourself. True strength is born not in comfort, but in isolation. It's in those moments when everyone turns away, when your phone goes silent and your messages go unanswered, that you begin to understand who you are and what you're truly capable of. You realize that depending on others for your happiness, validation, or direction is a weakness disguised as connection. Friends can walk beside you, but they cannot walk for you. They can cheer you on, but they cannot carry your weight. No one is your friend in the way you hope, not when it really counts, not when your soul is on fire and your dreams are teetering on the edge of destruction, and that is the greatest gift life can give you, because it forces you to rise, to dig deep, to evolve beyond the need for external approval. You start leading yourself. You begin to protect your energy, guard your peace, and respect your own journey. You stop blaming others for what they couldn't give you and start building the life that no one else could envision for you. When no one is your friend, you become your own source of power. No one is your friend when success is still a dream, when you're grinding in silence, when you're waking up early and sleeping late, chasing a vision no one else sees. You will look around and find empty spaces where loyalty was promised. People applaud results, not effort. The world respects finished products, not unfinished stories. Your struggle makes others uncomfortable because it reminds them of the work they aren't doing. So they stay away, they ghost you, they avoid you. And that hurts, but it's also clarity. It shows you who's only there for the spotlight, not the darkness. And here's the secret: the darkness is where the real work happens. It's where resilience is forged, where focus sharpens, and where discipline becomes non-negotiable. When no one is your friend, you stop trying to convince people of your worth. You start proving it to yourself. You learn that not everyone clapping for you wants to see you win. Some clap just loud enough to distract you, hoping you'll trip. When you're alone, there's no one to fake it for, no one to impress, just you and the mission. And that purity is priceless. It's raw, it's real, and it's transformative. In this solitude, your voice gets louder, your instincts sharper, and your goals clearer. You begin to realize that maybe you were meant to walk alone for a while, not because you're unworthy of company, but because greatness requires isolation. It requires you to break before you build, to lose before you learn, and to face the silence before you hear your calling. No one is your friend when you change. Growth is uncomfortable, not just for you, but for everyone around you. When you decide to break free from old habits, toxic patterns, or limiting environments, people start pulling back. They call you different, distant, or difficult. But what they really mean is that they can't control you anymore. You've evolved beyond the version of yourself they were comfortable with. And evolution scares people because when you rise, you reflect what they refuse to confront. Don't let their discomfort make you shrink. Don't trade your transformation for temporary companionship. You weren't put here to fit in. You were made to rise above, to lead, not follow. And leaders walk lonely roads. The price of purpose is often paid in solitude. But that solitude is sacred. It separates the dreamers from the doers, the victims from the victors. You are not alone because you're unlovable. You're alone because you're unshakable. You no longer need permission to be great. You don't wait for validation to take action. You move and the world follows. The people who once doubted you will ask how you did it. But they weren't there when you were crying in silence, fighting invisible battles and pushing through fear. They only see the result. They never saw the resolve. And that's okay. Because this journey isn't about proving them wrong. It's about proving yourself right. When no one is your friend, your mission becomes louder than their opinions. You find peace in progress, not popularity. No one is your friend when you're down. It's easy to be loved when you're winning, when your name is trending, when your victories are public. But lose once and watch the room empty. Go broke and see how many still answer your calls. Fail and count how many still believe in you. Pain exposes people. Struggle reveals truth. It filters your circle down to nothing but mirrors. And that's a blessing in disguise. Because in your lowest moments, you stop living for others. You stop hiding behind titles, likes, or applause. You start facing the real you, raw, unfiltered, and unafraid. Pain becomes your teacher. Disappointment becomes your fuel. And failure becomes your foundation. When no one is your friend, you realize you don't need anyone to survive. You only need your vision, your faith, and your grind. You begin building from rock bottom with bricks no one else saw. You become your own source of motivation, your own reason to wake up, your own light in the darkness. You don't just bounce back, you rise higher. You don't recover what was lost, you create what never existed. People will come back when it's convenient, when you're winning again, but by then you won't need them. You'll have become so grounded in your power that their presence is a bonus, not a necessity. You won't chase loyalty anymore, you'll embody it. You won't seek support, you'll offer it, because you learned how to stand when no one held your hand. No one is your friend when your purpose disrupts their comfort. As you rise into your calling, as your vision expands, as your fire burns brighter, you will start losing people who once called themselves your friends. Not because you wronged them, but because your growth made them question their own stagnation. You outgrew conversations that go nowhere, environments that drain your energy, and relationships that demand you shrink. And that's okay. Purpose isn't always popular, it won't always be understood, but it will always be worth it. The moment you stop waiting for others to understand your journey is the moment you truly begin to walk it. And on that road, you will find a version of yourself that doesn't beg for support but commands respect. You start becoming the person you were always meant to be, focused, fearless, and free. Free from needing approval, free from shrinking to fit, free from expectations that never served you. You learn that no one is your friend, not because people are evil, but because they are limited. They can only love you at the level of their own growth, and if they haven't grown, they can't walk where you're going. So you bless them and keep walking. Because destiny isn't found in crowds, it's discovered in clarity. When no one is your friend, you stop looking outward and start looking inward. You build a mindset that no setback can break, a spirit that no betrayal can shake, a heart that beats for a purpose bigger than any person. And when you reach that level of self-mastery, you realize the truth. You were never alone. You were just being prepared, molded, sharpened. You weren't abandoned. You were being awakened. And now that you're awake, there's no turning back.